So lifting under the client's knee and ankle, moving our client into side stretch by placing our foot across the mat and having their foot match ours, pressing her knee down to the floor, and then moving our foot back, keeping our arms straight and pressing by the sacroiliac joint. Very, very light, almost non-existent pressure on her shoulder and her pec attachments, and then moving her fully into side position. Adjusting the pillow and beginning palm pressing. The heel of our palm is just lateral to the lamina groove, making sure that your core is right above the movement, making sure that your client's arm slides easily so that she's comfortable, and just compressing down with incremental pressure. Focusing on the erector spinae. And then begin palm press walking back and forth, still making sure that all of this movement really comes from your core. We'll move the client's arm back behind her, supporting at the pec attachments and the shoulder, and then just rolling her back, placing thumb pressure underneath the scapula. So holding our thumb in a fixed position and rolling the client back onto the pressure of the thumb. It's important to keep your thumb supported to prevent injury to you, the therapist. So we're not digging in with our thumb, we're simply rolling the client back onto our thumb in a fixed position. Next, we'll begin thumb press walking. All of this is along the erector spinae musculature, staying lateral to the lamina groove. So important to free impingement in this area where our nervous system goes from central to peripheral, affecting so many parts of our body. Next, we'll begin checking for impingement and restriction of the shoulder. So lightly placing our hand along the side of the client's body, and then with the other hand, we're holding and moving the client's arm to check for range of motion. And then when we find impingement, we find tightness, we simply compress straight down, supporting the client's elbow above their head and just relaxing into these compressive movements, usually staying 20 to 60 seconds for each movement. To release impingement in the pectoralis region, we roll our client back onto our thighs, and we mold our arm to fit right in front of the shoulder joint, pressing our forearm down in the pec attachments and molding the client's arm over our forearm and just relaxing into this movement, 20 to 60 seconds of compression. The next movement is similar, but this time we roll the client's arm in front of her body, sinking down into a pin and bind style of compression. Again, 20 to 60 seconds. The client, upon releasing this movement, will feel a rush of blood, rush of circulation into the arm. The next movement, we work with an acupressure point, placing our forearm directly and exactly on the deltoid tuberosity and compressing down. This is right at the base of the deltoid. Just relaxing there 20 to 60 seconds, a point for releasing impingement in the shoulder region. Next, we move the client's arm over her head, her fingertips point away from her head, and we provide a counter stretch, pressing from just above the elbow and at the hip, stretching the side of the body. The next movement, half locust, we hold the client's wrist and at her ankle, and we place our knee nearest the client into the center of the glute and simply twist back, stretching the quadriceps. 1 to 3 times. We'll return the client's arm in front of her, place her leg back onto the mat in side position. Come to a standing position, sliding one foot just superior to the knee, the other foot supports at the base of the sacrum. We're going to take the arm nearest the mat, and stand straight up, making sure to hold 2 places in the client's arm so the pressure is more diffuse. We do this 1 to 3 times, allowing the client to twist back, stretching her low back, and then returning her to the mat, and returning her entire body to supine position. Next, we'll move to the client's ankle, and with both hands, gently traction the client's ankle and hip, knee towards us, and then jostle slightly, repeating on both sides.